palm reading of a particular person whose age is 44. We are reading his hand, and the first hand we are going to look at is the right hand. And we would take a overall view of the hand first. The first thing that we try to analyze is the structure of the hand. The structure of the hand plays a major role in the palm reading. The structure, basically, what we mean by the structure of the hand is basically the strength of the hand. It is basically the how strong the bones are in the fingers, as well as the palm and the skin covering over it. So what I find is that it's a reasonably strong structured hand. A strong structured hand basically signifies that such a person would have a better hold over people, money, and resources. So this is the most important aspect. The other thing is that, see, imagine a situation if this hand was a very, very weak kind of a hand, very weak kind of a structured hand. So that would mean everything in his life is going to be weakness. But when the hand is strong, it means everything is likely to be strong. It means basically when the problems arise in one's life, the person has got an ability, to basically face those problems and move ahead in their life. So this is the most important aspect of the palm reading. The whole structure of the hand basically converts the palm reading completely. So I was mentioning regarding the structure of the hand. So it's a reasonably strong structure hand. That's a positive sign to have. Now I'll take individual lines in the palm and try to basically analyze what basically they tell or what they don't tell. And the first line that we would be talking about is the headline and the lifeline. This is basically the line of life, and this is the line of head. Lifeline is more to do with how much energies is there, the stamina, the vitality, and the desires is there in that particular person. And the headline is more to do with the mental strength, mental weakness, mental stability, mental instability that the person may face in their life. Now, what I feel is that there are few lines that are originating on the Mount of Jupiter, something like this. You would notice something like this. This is a little bit rare kind of a occurrence. Okay. And normally what happens is that the headline would start somewhere on the side of the palm out here. It would start something like this. And the lifeline also starts something like this. But having these lines is a little bit rare kind of a occurrence. And Jupiter basically is the planet for administration, religion, politics, and honor, being at an honorable position. So this is what is depicted by Jupiter. So any line originating on the Mount of Jupiter and joining the lifeline or the headline, the meaning would remain the same. It means your life is basically getting guided by Jupiter. This is what basically it signifies. And being guided by Jupiter is considered to be good because Jupiter, being a big planet, it means growth and expansion, ambition and respect, and all these things coming in your life. Although these lines are there at the early stages of your life. Early stages mean before the age of 20. But the impact that it may have on your life is going to be throughout your life, not necessarily only and only after the age of, let's say, like this is only before the age of 20, but the impact is throughout one's life and not necessarily only and only before the age of 19 or 20. And how we basically can come to know how we can correlate about these lines is we would ask the particular person, has he been at a high position in his life throughout his life? Throughout his life doesn't mean right now. Right now his age is 44, but throughout his life basically means when the person was young, when the person was in junior classes, when the person was in senior classes and college and then work as well. So throughout the life, the chances become better when a person has this particular line. In the left hand, it is showing up in a much more stronger way compared to the right hand. But even left hand is your hand, so it does tell something about you. Some people have got a different opinion about the left and the right hand. Some people say that left hand is basically your family's hand or your wife's hand, but I would say this is your hand, so it tells about you only and only you. So this is see on the right hand, these lines, I'm just going to zoom in. The lines are there, but in comparison, it's a little bit weaker compared to the compared to the left hand. Now, what we I just tell you what other significant things that I basically see on the hand. Now, what other significant thing that I see out on his palm is that there is a very prominent padded mount of Venus. Mount of Venus is basically, you must have read in geography what Venus is. Venus has got only two qualities that we have read in geography. It is a dense planet and it is a warm planet. So density basically means it is all about energy. Energy means energy, stamina, vitality, and the desires within this particular person. And warm planet basically means that how much warm the person is going to be. So if a person has got good padding, as we see in this particular case, the chances are that the person is likely to be extremely warm by nature. Now, a warm nature basically attracts different people. So if a person is very cordial, very warm, many people are going to come near to this particular person. And they're going to come near to this particular person because the person is cordial and loving kind, because the person has got immense amount of love energies in them. And love energies doesn't mean only the sexual energies. It basically covers all kind of love energies, like love towards parents, love towards children, love towards wife and friends, family, everybody. And this is also the area for grace and beauty and desires. So when the area is padded, automatically the person is likely to be more graceful, and the person is likely to be extremely warm and cordial, and these kind of things. So more relationships and more partnerships basically would come in his life. So this is the other aspect. The other aspect is, see, Venus. To have a well padded Venus is a very good sign, although this is not a necessity that the person, just because the person has got a padded Venus, is going to be more successful. But that probability basically increases. The reason being that if a person has got high energy levels, even if the person fails one time, two times, or multiple times, the person would still have the energies to try out one more time, like try to try a thing repeatedly before the person basically succeeds. There's a there's a saying that fail fast. So even if you fail multiple times, the person would have multiple have would have high energy levels. So the probability would basically increase because the person is going to repeatedly try to be more successful. So that's the reason why having a good amount of prominent amount of Venus is important. And this prominent amount of Venus could also signify that the person's energies is going to remain with him even when the person turns old. See, normally when the person is young, 25, 30, 35, even 40, people assume that they would be having the energies throughout their life, but it is not so. So you need to have burning kind of desires. So burning desires basically make you move, and they make you move to basically work towards your goals, and that's how basically the person can succeed. When we talk about goals, we also look at the heart line. See, the heart line is a very, very important line. See, people generally want to just know about the money line. So this is the money line, and people just want to know about the money line. But I would say that money line does play an important part in the money aspect, but it is not as important as we generally think it to be. The importance of money line, in my opinion, is only 10, 15, 20%. That's it. So even your heart line, this is your heart line, even this basically can tell about the money in some way or the other. So the thing is that a person who has got a simple kind of a heart line, now this is quite a simplistic kind of a heart line. Simple heart line basically means a heart line that is not broken into pieces. Some people have got broken into pieces. So when there are breaks in the heart line, the person would be constantly changing their work, and the person wouldn't be able to commit themselves, and the person wouldn't be able to give their heart to one particular relationship or a partnership or a profession. So heartline can tell also about the profession as well. Even with the heartline, we can talk about the profession as well. So a heartline that is very simple kind is considered to be much better because the person is able to commit themselves. They are able to dedicate themselves completely to one thing and only one thing. And the person does not carry the extra baggage of the past disappointment. The people who carry the extra baggage of the past appointment would have these branches hanging downwards, something like this. Too many branches. So that's basically considered to be good. Some people would have a hazy kind of a line. So all those are basically bad because that would increase stress and anxiety. So people who have this stress and anxiety are not are unlikely to be successful because when the opportunity arises, they may basically go. They may be afraid to take those challenges, but this person would be able to take the challenges because the heartline is perfect. See, a perfect heartline in very simple terms means a heart that is strong, that is stable, that basically doesn't basically weather away, or maybe the stress and anxiety doesn't pull this heart downwards. So this is a good aspect. A little bit, basically, I would say that the length of the heartline is a little bit long, almost almost touching the starting portion of the Jupiter mount. This is basically the Jupiter mount. So it's always better to have a shorter heartline compared to a longer heartline. The shorter heartline basically ends somewhere closer to the mount of Saturn. This is the mount of Saturn. This is where it should basically end completely. But I wouldn't say that the heartline is very long or very short. So it's see, when it only ends on the Mount of Saturn, it would signify that the person is more realistic, the person is more grounded, the person knows the ground situation very well, the person respects money, the person values money. This is what it would represent by Saturn. Saturn is all about wisdom, responsibility, and all these kind of things, and money management. But having a little bit longer kind of a heartline basically decreases these particular qualities that the person has, and the person becomes more idealistic, more sensitive, and higher expectations basically come. But at the same time, this heartline is not a very long heartline. Some people have got a very long heartline. So longer heartlines are very bad, but this is bearable. This is in bearable limits. I would say that I would say that it's all okay to have a length something like this. You just take a look at the left hand. In the left hand, the heartline appears to be much more longer, reaching the Jupiter. So more idealism and more sensitivity. See, that's a negative sign, I would say, because higher expectation would bring lots of disappointment. So those are basically negative signs to have when we are talking only about the money aspect. See, you can be idealistic. There's nothing wrong with it. You can be very touchy about things, but we are living in a material world. So it's better to be more materialistic instead of being idealistic, because sometimes this particular person is likely to work for free. Like there may be an opportunity to make money, yet the person doesn't avail that particular opportunity to make the money because of the idealism. So it's see, whenever we help other people at the later stage, after we have helped that particular, we realize that person wasn't worth basically helping. So we have to value the services that we are giving to people, and and the other people would only value us if we take money. Otherwise, they are not going to value you at all. If we give everything for free, people would say, "Oh, this person is a useless person. This person doesn't have any work," and this kind of a thing that other person is likely to say in their life. Now, there's a slight break on the heartline. So this portion is in the earlier portion of the life. Break on the heartline is a little bit negative, and this could depict in the earlier portion of your life, and it is only showing up in the left hand and not the right hand. Break on the heartline means abrupt ending in a relationship or a partnership, but in those earlier years you don't have those kind of relationship and those kind of, so it may have to do with something to do with the family or something else in one's life. So this is what it basically means. Even in spite of having a longer heartline, when I say sensitive and idealistic, all these kind of things, still the person does not take stress and anxiety because the quality of the heartline is good. Very simple kind, very simple, straightforward line is the best possible line that the person can have. Now, I would briefly look at the left hand and then basically move on to the right hand. Left hand is also important. The importance of left hand is, let's say, 40% left hand, 60% right hand. So both hands needs to be referred to in order to arrive at the conclusion. So the first thing that I would talk about is the money line. See, money line is originating on the mount of moon. Moon is the area for foreign countries, but not every person who has a money line originate on the mount of moon would go to a foreign country. The person can go to a foreign country, may not go to a foreign country, may work in your home country and have connections with the foreigners. It's all possible. All things are basically possible. This basically means a person would benefit from trading activity, service industry, and betterment coming to the person after the person gets married, or after the person has a female child, or the person, if the person takes suggestion from females outside the family, inside the family, anybody. And in foreigners, it could be both male and females would basically benefit that particular person. And moon basically also benefits the person from water related, near staying near to the water, all these kind of things basically, or related to travel as well, because the moon is all about travel, anything changeable, anything related to fashion, anything related to that is changing very, very fast on a daily basis, or public appreciation as well. So those are the basically things. So what happens out here is that the money line ends on the line of head. Now, ending on the line of head basically means at the age of 35, few changes basically come in the person's life. And break on the money line basically signifies some problem related to finances, job loss, work loss, business loss. This could be the first thing. Sometimes it may not be so. The other thing could be the main earning member of the family, their health or wealth goes down. So more responsibility falls onto this particular person's head around the age of 35. The third thing could be the person's personal life can also get disturbed due to a break in the money line. So any one of these basically can get applied. The other important aspect on the money line is that the money line again restarts at the age of 35 and it continues somewhere till the age of 53. There is continuity even after the age of 53, but or what is happening is that there's a change in the direction. Imagine this is basically this intersection of the heart and the money line is age 53. This is after the age of 53. So what is happening is around the age of 53, the direction in which the money line is progressing changes its course. If it was running the same course, it would go something like this. It would move a little bit towards the mount of Jupiter. And Jupiter is not for money. Jupiter can be for growth, can be for expansion, can be for respect and honor, but Jupiter is not for money. So a money line that is tilting towards the mount of Saturn is considered to be much better for money matters. And this happens after the age of 53. Somewhere close to this is the age 53, this is age 35, this in the middle is age 44. So the person is, this age could be the age the person is running in, where there is a crossing kind of a thing. So crossing, if there was no crossing, I would have said it to be much better. But in this case, I would say that this crossing could be a good sign. The reason why I say it's a good sign is because let's take two examples. This is the heart line. Imagine this is your physical heart. And there's a branch hanging downwards. Imagine there was a branch hanging downwards. So branch hanging downwards is going to pull the heart downwards. So that's a negative sign. But it appears that this branch is not a branch from the heart line. This could be a branch from the headline. This is the line of head. This is the line of head. And there's a branch that is moving upward, pointing towards the area of a Mercury. So, see, headline is not for intelligence, but a headline that moves towards the Mercury mount is the line for intelligence, something to do with the skills and calculation and the communication or writing or something, being an author or something like this happens at that particular age. So this age is age 35. So this event is happening before the age of 35, around the age of, let's say, 30. What is also happening is that there's an upward movement, and at the same time, there's another upward movement from the headline. There's a new headline that is forming, and the new headline is pointing again towards the mount of Jupiter. So a line that points towards the mount of Jupiter is again considered to be good, because Jupiter is for administration, religion, politics, and honor. So somehow we get all those things in our life. So it may have to do with all those things in our life. Apart from this indication that we are referring to, this is also showing up on your sun line. The sun line appears somewhere at this particular point. So this age is approximately, let's say, 30, 30, 32. And this age is 35. This is 44. This is 53. And this is 53 and beyond. So there's a change out here. There's a change out here. What is happening? So the formation of the sunline becomes much more deeper and clearer around the age of, let's say, 32. But it's 32 to 35. It's not very clear. From 35 to 53, it is quite good. And beyond the age of 53, it becomes even better because there's much more clarity in the line. When the line is not so clear, it means your path that you are traveling on is not so clear. When the line becomes much more clear, it means much more clarity that is coming to your path. Because there's clarity, that's the reason why you are successful. It's plain simple, very simple formula out here. So the deeper the line, the clearer the line, the more successful the person basically becomes. Some people say this is the name and fame line. Some people say this is government service line, which I disagree completely. And some people say even that this is your name and fame line or luck line, whatever some people they may be saying. I normally say this is your top line. Top means how much energies you are giving to your work. There are few negative lines that we see on your planes of Mars negative. This is the area of Mars negative. These are basically negative lines. Some of them touch out here as well. This is age 30. This is age 35. This is age 36, 37, 30, till the age of, let's say, 37, 38. These problems remain. And at the same time, somewhere close to the age of 36 also, there's the upward movement of the line. Again, it's considered to be a good sign because headline moving upward towards the finger is considered to be a positive sign. It means upliftment of the mind. Upliftment of the mind is a good sign. It means some success happening at that particular age. There's no negative sign as such on the Venus mount. This is a little bit negative sign on the area of Mars negative. More negative lines on the Mars negative means anger misguided. The fire is misguided. There's no negative sign out on the mount of Venus. That means your energies are being targeted towards the goal. That's a positive sign. Now we move back to the right hand. There are similarities that is showing up in the right hand as well. Much better prospects after the age of 53 on the sun line, much more deeper and clearer. And it's not that, see, don't think that if you don't have a sun line, the person doesn't have a career, but absence of the line sometimes I would say is considered to be a really good sign. And but the presence of the line, if it is deep and clear, it is a super excellent sign to have this kind of an indication. And if there's clarity on the headline towards the end, it means things are going to happen predictably. Nothing unpredictable is going to happen, and the person would have the ability to take sane decisions, sober decisions, even at an old age. Now, this particular line that we are referring to, this is the good line, and this may be called as a luck line. And because the reason why I say it's a luck line, this is the lifeline. So any branches joining in from Jupiter brings in the quality of Jupiter, and Jupiter qualities are position and honor, respect and honor. So this is lifeline is nothing but a river. A tributary joining from Jupiter means Jupiter qualities entering your life, and a line from pointing from the area of a Saturn joining a lifeline brings in money, because Saturn is all about money, possessions, wealth, wisdom, responsibility, money management. So this could be referred to as a luck line, and probably the age the person is at around the age of 44. This age could be similar kind of age that the person would be good at money. And there are smaller branches as well that you would find on the lifeline. These smaller branches are also referred to as same indications, but longer branches much better, but even shorter branches. See, these branches, these kind of lines don't show up in every person's hand. In the right hand as well, in the initial phase of your life, very early portion, the money line breaks. So some problem may have occurred at a very early age, let's say 25, 26, around that particular age. Then the money line breaks. 35, again it starts, and then again it changes its course. And then again there's a break at the age of 55. See, I wouldn't say that it's anything bad, provided there are less lines on the mount of Saturn. See, having less lines over any particular mount is always better than having crisscrossing, confusing kind of lines. Having too many lines is a bad sign. Having less lines is a good sign, provided they are perpendicular. Perpendicular lines are good. It basically signifies that the chances are that the person planet is going to be working in a good way, and Saturn working in a good way means lesser delays, lesser hardships, lesser problems that the person may face in their life. So uh, this is the main aspect of the palm reading. There are few perpendicular lines on the mount of Mercury. See, Mercury is all about skill and calculations. If there were much more deeper lines, I would have said much more stronger set of skills. But this line is comparatively still strong compared to the right hand. There are lines, uh, but if they were much more stronger and deeper, I would have said it to be much more stronger set of skills. The good part is that this area is not crisscrossed, because this is a very important area. Mercury is the area for skills, calculations, and communication. Okay, and if a person had this kind of an indication, crisscrossing lines, that would basically signify miscalculations and miscommunication. And because there are no negative lines, the chances are that the person would not have any miscalculation and miscommunication. So, although if there was stronger line, I would have rated it to be much better compared to this. There's a break on the headline before the age of 35 out here. You would notice that there's a break, and break under the mount of Saturn basically signify, and this break is happening around the age of, let's say, 29, 30 approximately. So mental hardship, depression, depressive tendencies during that particular age, mental breakdown, and some amount of anger and aggression also could be depicted by these particular lines. I would end my video out here, but before I end my video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube. Don't miss another update. You can call me, you can email me at these particular numbers. And the most important aspect of Moneyline, what is about, see, people want to know about their fate line. People think that everything is depicted by their money line. But money line importance is only 15% as to how much money we would be able to make in our life. Each and every line, your heart line, head line, lifeline, sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and every line can be associated with money, not necessarily only your money line. A saint once said, you don't need to go to an astrologer or a palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is a result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Thanks for watching. Bye and take care.